Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner and I got another knife video, another knife battle, another brand in the popular brand case. Going through the ones that I have multiples from one brand on and kind of moving my way up. I started out with the CJRBs. There's only 5 of those. Now we got 7 of the cold steels. Cold steel knives. And you get a nice mix of stuff with cold steel. Let me tell you, there's a range. There's definitely a range. I even have a big Thai machete, but I didn't think it would be appropriate. I don't know. I didn't think it would fit with the video. But it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. So they do have some wild knives, and I do have some that are a little bit wild here for sure. Why don't we start with this guy? The elephant in the room, I guess. Got to fit it in the frame, not all at once. It's the Frenzy. This is kind of a wild knife, I'm gonna wipe that thing off. It's a wild knife, but it does have nice materials. We're talking about S35 VN steel, and it's quite a cutter. And then this is G10 here, and it really has a cool layered sort of look to it, and it does have nice milling. You got these 2 points here that kind of give you a good pinch point to kind of hold on to the knife with. It is a lockback, and you're going to see a lot of lockbacks from cold steel. A lot of them are triad locks. I don't know that this one is a triad lock. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But it's definitely a good strong lock, and a nice long knife. We gotta measure it, of course. It's just a monster, so gotta know. Probably one of the longest knives, maybe the longest knife. 5.5 inches of blade, and about 5 3/4 of cutting edge. It's got this nice Warncliffe shape. And it almost feels like it's got a hawkbill sort of effect. Let's see if it lies flat on the, if I can do this. Does it lie flat on the, yeah, here I'll go on the edge. There you go. I see a little bit of light between there. So it looks like we got a little bit of a hawkbill. That's pretty cool. I mean, that tip's gonna really catch and pull and cut really well. Definitely pokey. Definitely pokey. Probably wouldn't want to be throwing this thing into a stump or anything. Maybe Scab would do that. I don't know. But reversible clip. Look at that. Reversible clip. And it does actually carry reasonably well in the pocket. So when you got it closed, the closed length is going to be right at 6 3/4, or 6 7/8, I guess. That's about the length of some knives open. But when it sits in the pocket, it's not deep carry, so you're gonna have this much sticking out. Very, very large amount, but it gives you something to grab on too. So you got to keep that in mind with this knife, and it certainly is not a normal carry for me. I mean, it's kind of hard to get in and cut your little boxes open with this thing because it's just so huge. I mean, I guess you can get a pinch grip way up like this, right? Look at that pinch grip. We can get in there. I mean, it could be used for just about anything, right? Definitely sharp, good steel, good locking. Not the most fidgety. If I close this, will it drop? Sometimes you get a shake and then a drop. Certainly not the best for getting on the camera. I'll widen this up quite a bit. It does flick out there pretty well, and you can get a little shake, and then another shake, couple shakes down. Nice fuller on there. Not too heavy. Not breaking out the scale on this one because we've got some pretty big knives here, but Yeah, I like this. I really like this knife. It is, like I say, it's kind of an odd one, but it's definitely cool. Definitely cool, and not completely crazy and not completely unusable. Let's go from the biggest, or at least the longest, to the shortest. And this one is the Toughlight. And oh, this is a good bargain knife. Toughlight, we're talking about. So comparing the two, the Frenzy is coming in at about $100. It's not bad. You got a lot of S35 in there. This Toughlight is coming in at $22. So you're talking about serious budgetness. Now the handle is that polymer sort of handle. It feels kind of plasticky for sure. You can switch the clip around, but it is going to be a tip down carry. So I know that's a thing for me, and mainly because I'm so used to tip up. You know, so used to having the knife in my pocket tip up that when I pull it out this way, it's a little going, okay, I got to adjust myself for this knife. Can't really flick it too well. It is, again, a lockback. It does close fairly well. And if I give it enough wrist, I can get it to close. And like I said, you can do a left hand, right hand. It does give you a nice finger, actually two, it's kind of a finger groove, finger choil thing. So your whole hand does fit on there. This would be excellent for somebody who's shipping, receiving type thing, where they're unboxing a lot of things, because that edge is just, for one thing, it's inexpensive. So if anything happens to it, if the tip breaks off or anything like that, it's pretty easy to replace. Wouldn't be hard to sharpen. It's AS 8. And yeah, so I mean, I think it would work pretty well. And again, you can do that shakedown thing. It's kind of something to get used to. And if you're not carrying lockbacks all the time, it does take a little bit of extra thought and paying attention to it in order to get it to do that. But yeah, and then you got the same kind of color combination, right? So there's the Toughlight. What are we gonna do? Let's jump in the middle here. This is a pretty iconic one, something that everybody kind of recognizes if they are a regular collector, the 8015. It's got this G10, and I think this is aluminum here, I believe. Could be wrong. But it is a unique locking mechanism. Scorpion lock. This is one of those locks that when you're squeezing the handle, it's going to make it hold tighter. It's a little bit awkward, and it takes a bit of time to get used to. This one's nicely broken in, so it does fidget pretty well, but you do have to kind of get your thumb and index finger in there and squeeze and pull apart in order to disengage that little pin there and allow it to close. Good size knife. We're talking about 3.5, just roughly 3.5 inch blade, 3 3/4 overall, and maybe 3.5 on the cutting edge. The steel on this one is S35. So again, we got a pretty decent steel. Yeah, and it closes really nice. I mean, it just drops. It's a nice big heavy blade. So once you get it past, just kind of get a little bit of shake to get it going, and it goes. It definitely goes. It's just a little different sort of thing, and so it's not going to be something that everybody's going to like. Big old gems. Big old gems. Now this guy does have big gems, but they're very soft gems. You can see it's kind of rounded off. Whereas this one, tops of these things are pretty sharp in the corners, so it is definitely going to grab, and it could be uncomfortable for some people, for sure. But it is a really great knife. I really like this knife. Moving on, because we got a lot of knives and not so much time. Well, we've got all the time in the world, but I'm trying to, because I'm going into bigger and bigger collections, and I want to be able to keep it compact and not ramble quite so much. Why don't we go over here? Another work-ish knife. I mean, all these really could be considered a good work knife, but the Finwolf, it's got a scanty grind in it. It's very nice. I think this is going to be a OS 8A, OS 8A. But, you know, again, you're going to be able to sharpen it up really easy. It does have the polymer handles as well, so it's very similar to the Toughlight in feel. They both have like a texture to them, but they both kind of feel kind of like hollow-ish. They're a solid knife. I mean, it locks up, of course, with the that back lock. It definitely locks up real tight. All these ones, I mean, Cold Steel's known for their good lockups, and they're just rugged knives, really rugged. They have some that have like I've seen them, you know, ones that I was thinking about getting. I couldn't really tell you the names of them, where it has like a plastic clip, and that just seems like a little. And I've actually seen used ones where they're broken off. So sometimes it's not quite so rugged. On some areas. This one is also reversible, but on this one it is going to be tip down or tip up as usual, as I'm used to. I mean, I'm sure if the world was such that more knives were tipped down in the pocket, I would just be used to it, and I think I'd be okay with it. But it just seems like when you're pulling it out, you get your handle here, and you want to have the blade coming out towards the front of your hand. I know people have arguments on that, you know, like, you know, they pull it out and then they pull it out and then spin it around and they get it in their hand. I don't know. It's hard for me to argue. I just know what I'm used to. So that's pretty much why the tip up is more comfortable for me. Not deep carry. I don't think. Well, we got the this one here has the deep carry. We got another deep carry over here too, but this one was an aftermarket one. But in general, you usually have something sticking out of the top. I know that Cold Steel kind of started out as more of a combat type knife in general in design. From Lynn Thompson, I mean, because he's very much into that whole thing. You know, hearing how he describes his knives, he's pretty much thinks of them all in a combat sort of way. But certainly, something like this would be pretty decent as a folding knife for doing some bushcrafting type stuff, because you do have that good Scandi. Nice thick stock. What are we talking about? We're talking just a full-on 1/8 inch, pretty much, and blade length is 3 1/4, so decent size. This one's more out of all these. I mean, this one's obviously small. This one's kind of the medium size, and then the rest of them here on the table are pretty large. And just great knife. I won that on a giveaway. I've been happy to have it ever since. Really cool. All right, let's get into. We're getting into some real. You know, when I'm talking about the battle, when I'm doing it, as I'm going through here, I'm thinking about which one's going to be my favorite knife. And I talked about, I kind of mentioned that on the CJRB, but if you missed that one, I'm trying to go into it and clear my mind and not have preferences. But I mean, there's certain knives that are definitely going to have a preference. These three here are definitely more unusual and less going to fit into that category of top knives, Cold Steel. Any of these four at one time or another has been my favorite Cold Steel knife. So we're getting into the meat of the whole thing. We already did the AD15, and I think that just because it's a little bit different kind of a lock, this one's probably going to go by the wayside. So I'm pretty safe to say that we're down to 3 now. Down to 3 for the favorite, my personal favorite. I'm not saying it's the best, it's just my preference. I love the idea of this one, the Formax Scout. It's just a, oh man, that sound. Now we're definitely talking triad lock with this one. Man. And, wow. That, got that on that end, and the other end, it's like, get it to just clunk. Just clunk. Formax Scout. I do like this grippiness, this kind of skateboardy. I've always, you know, because growing up in California, I wasn't a big surfer. You know, everybody asks, you know, especially back in the day, you know, do you surf? You know, of course I have surfed some, but I never was a big surfer. But skateboarding, that was more of a thing for me. You know, running around, other than bicycles in general. Anybody that grew up in the 70s, 80s, I think even across the country, you know, riding around on bikes, that was the thing back then. But skateboarding was another thing. You know, learning tricks and things like that. Of course, with the bikes, we were always doing the jumps and you know, sliding, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of crazy stuff. But skateboards, yeah, definitely came into vogue and really got big for a while. And this texture just takes you back to that skateboard tape. You put it on your board. You'd want to have it on the back of the board, so when you're doing your kick ups and stuff like that. I never was an amazing skateboarder for sure, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. So anyway, I do like that grip. It's kind of nostalgic. Big knife, probably too big to win the favorite. Probably too big to win the favorite. I'd have to say it. I think I'm going through it pretty quick this time. This one does have great fidget, though. I mean, as far as backlock fidget is concerned, I mean, really, the blade is so heavy that it just drops, and you really have to be careful. Pretty much all of these down here, you have to be careful with these. You've got to get your finger in just the right spot so it catches it where the blade is not cutting you. I've known people that you know, first got these knives and have cut themselves with them. So be very careful with it until you're comfortable with that. It does become a fun fidget, but you want to kind of master that first. Excellent knife, excellent knife. It's a favorite in general, just in my heart type thing. I bought this one out in Arizona. I went one of my trips. We got some family out that way, Tucson area, and I picked this one up. And man, when I got it, I was just like, couldn't get the smile off my face. So it is an excellent knife. Okay, so we're down to these two. This one's kind of got some special stuff going on with it. So I'm going to kind of save that one for last. And really, it already kind of has that spot. This one now is yeah, I think it's the most recent one that I got. Ooh, getting crazy. See, the battle's going on here. The knives are even getting into it. Fidget wise, oh man, this one could edge out. I'm telling you, because of the fidget. This what's it called? The what do they call that lock? The Atlas lock. I was thinking Atlas lock, and I think, no, it's not the Atlas lock. What is it? Oh, it is the Atlas lock. Very much shark locky. It's interesting. Cold Steel came up with this after Demco came up with their shark lock. In a lot of ways, this one is more fidgety. It's a little easier to actuate, I think. It's a little bit more, because the shark lock is more up this way. This one's a little bit further back, so it takes a little bit of adjustment to it, but it's really at a good spot. In my hand, the way it's going to sit, you get that butt of the knife right into the palm, and it fits really well. And it doesn't take much to get this thing to go open and close. Feels really good in the hand. It does capture you. I know a lot of people like to have a neutral handle. I mentioned that a lot, but me personally, and this is a me personally thing, but being very much, you know, letting you know that I do like a knife that captures my hand on both sides, as long as it fits. And my hand's kind of that medium-ish size. I mean, it's like probably a XL glove or large glove or something, maybe just a large glove. But man, this just fits right in. It fits right in. G10, right? Double check that, make sure I'm right. Gauge G10 handle. Got some milling in there. That's nice. It's got a nice look to it. The steel on this one is S35 again. Seems to be popular with them. You know, the OS 10s or the OS 10 or OS 8 and S35 seem to be popular still with it. I think they've done some Magna Cut ones more recently, but I haven't gotten in on any of that stuff. But yeah, S35 is good for me. Yeah, great knife, great shape. I like a clip point. It's got that nice little ramp thing. No jimping on this one. Nice thumb studs really work well for me. It just fidgets very well. It is a fidget king. If this is a fidget battle, this one would win for sure. For sure. Hands down. Hands down for me. But there's this guy. Yeah. I mean, I already love the 8010. I had another version of it. I ended up giving it away on one of my... Oh, man. I love the acoustics of a good knife. And this one just screams just solid. Just says, I am solid. I am locked in and I am ready to go. There is no movement. It's not going anywhere. It's solid as heck. Plus, you can probably tell if you're familiar with the 8010, and you can even see there that you can't quite read the whole 8010. You got enough there that you know that's what it is. But this thing's got a sick hollow grind. Recently, I showed that Vero with the hollow grind, Sawtooth Dave. This one as well, Sawtooth Dave. This is back when he was full on just going to town on hollow grinds, and he just killed it on this one. It is just so nice and thin down here. I mean, it still feels solid. I don't think I'd be afraid of doing much of anything with this, but it definitely changed it from more of a chopping kind of knife or just hard use kind of knife to having some really good sliceability. Definitely has sliceability. But also, this one, again, be very careful about how you get that index finger in there. But you could definitely fidget with this guy all day long. And it's just like, it's got its own kind of fidget. Same with the Spydercos that have the back locks. I mean, it just, there's a different kind of fidget. Just like when you have like a slip joint. Slip joint has that walk and talk fidget. It's got its own kind of fidget. I mean, it's not the same kind of fidget as this is, where you're just kind of going in and out and in and out and in and out so easily. You're not getting in the way. You don't have to be really careful about how you do it. And, you know, you're not putting your finger in the way. Oh, this one does have that forward finger choil too. So if this is too small for you, you got this option. And you do have a generous little finger choil there. Pretty much a full-size one. Yeah. But this one here, yeah, not really a finger choil. You can kind of trigger it. But this one is very deep, and you lock in again. Similar. And I guess it's maybe a cold steel thing. That inner grip. So the inner grip on this is about 3.5, maybe 3 5/8. This one is about 3 5/8. Both the same. Both right in that sweet spot for me. Right in that sweet spot. This one does have that sick hollow grind, and it is just a little more solid. This one solid as well, but you can tell the difference in the sound. Just for the backlock. It's pretty dangerous to be switching back and forth between these two knives. Oh man, that's so good. Now, this one compared to this one. It's not so much on the coming back in. It does have kind of a thud on this one, whereas this has got that sound on both sides. Yeah, so anyway, you might have already been able to tell. You know, I don't know if you guys are playing along at home and going, oh, I know which one Ken likes. I know that guy. I know what he likes. I like this 80-10. Probably, if it was a regular 80-10, it would still win. It would be way closer, though. Did I mention the name of this one? This is the Engage. Excellent knife. Really good. This is the full-size one. There's a smaller one. I don't know that I would like the smaller one. This is the 3.5-inch blade. This is really awesome. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that is a close second. Close second, but yeah. 80-10. It's got it. Just got to remember it's a backlock. And yeah, it's got my heart. It's got, you know, it's got soul. These are all made in Taiwan. So there's not a USA made one out here on the table. All of them are made in Taiwan. But that's pretty common for, I know they have some USA made knives from Cold Steel, but I don't have any of them. But even this little Toughlight is made in Taiwan. And Taiwan has a different level, but it still is not USA, you know. But man, oh, and I didn't mention this clip. You know, doesn't really affect so much being a deep carry, but the way the spoon is on this thing, it definitely goes in and out of the pocket very well, and the scales are a plus as well. This was all done before I got it. I'm not even sure who makes these scales. Maybe Original Goat. It kind of looks like a aluminum Original Goat. I think it's aluminum. Pretty sure. But yeah, so maybe lightens it up a slight little bit. But man, so nice. All right, guys. Yeah, so going into this wasn't quite so tight as the last one. The last one, it did come down to me having to make a decision. But this one, I was just kind of verifying what I probably could have told you from the beginning. I love me an 80-10, and I love especially this 80-10. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We moved from the 5 to the 7. The next one, I can't remember which one's next, but there's going to be more knives, and there's going to keep going through some interesting brands. Definitely some interesting brands. All right, guys, I will stop talking because that's enough talking, and I will say thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.